One and go. So the rise of sororities is necessary to actually accumulate political power, to host a lot of events and fun activities, and to build real tangible impacts that all women can partake in and have an effect in, right? The feminist movement only works insofar as you have the necessary will and ability to enact on these needs that women want, like literally not just having that ideal, but literally transforming it into tangible action and tangible projects that can affect all of these women that you care about. If you don't have this structure, if you don't have this this institution, OG's best case is a fragmented and small feminist movement that sees collaboration, that sees cooperation as an inherent harm. Obviously, that's bad if you want to actually do something with an organization or within the feminist movement as a whole. Four responses based on all of the things that opening government has told us. Response number one, it is white centric. Empirically, it's just false, right? Maybe it did start off white like 50 or 60 years ago, but as the years have gone by, it has gotten more diverse. Two or three reasons why this is structurally true. One, the backlash and the calling out of bad actions in the past has actually worked in transforming all of these sororities so that, yeah, in the past they were kind of racist. Now, all of that racism has been corrected, at least to a certain extent. There has been progress. Two, not all sororities exist in America. If you're in Africa, I mean, even here in the Philippines, right, there are sororities that cater specifically to women. And yeah, obviously there's going to be a major demographic, but that's probably because of the fact that, like people live in these certain areas and that's the major demographic that they're in. Point is, it's not always going to be white. Third, the rise has actually made more sororities as to what Joseph has said, which does account for all of that, like, exclusion that OG says is a problem. So if the problem is there isn't a specific sorority right now that caters to your own specific interest, well, we say that the rise of more sororities has actually been a lot more inclusive in making sure you have an option to choose from. Response number two, it is a blood pact. That's what they said, right? I think it's just an assertion. Like government didn't give like any structural reason to prove why this claim is on average true. Like, am I just supposed to believe that these women form like blood rituals because opening government said so? No, the likely and realistic comparative is more likely, right? They do expect your commitment. They do expect you to actually give a shit because of the fact that you joined this sorority. We think on average, right, if you really do need and do want to be part of that sorority, well, there you go, right? That's the necessary trade-off of wanting to be in any organization. Like you're the people here, the observers, you guys are probably here not just because you want to watch a debate at like 9:27 p.m. You're here because it's an obligation for you to want to become better and impress your peers in like the team on the other bench. So, response number three, and I think this is the most fair and most like best response that they give, right? It's for the privileged and for a lot of these prejudiced people, right? And I will concede to a certain extent that that first part, that it is for the privileged, is like it has the tendency to be true. Like obviously you need a lot of money to order to join these sororities. You have a lot of like needs and wants for them to actually cater to, right? But note that this isn't just purely parasitic, right? Like you're not just getting nothing in return. There's a lot of pragmatic and really, really meaningful benefits that come as a consequence of you actually being in that institution. Like for example, food, housing, a close and very, very well structured like opportunity for you to get closer with a lot of women, like events. Those things counter like act the fact that yeah, there is a lot of concessions that need to be made on your end, but it's not like you don't get anything in return. Fourth, as to what DPM said in his speech, there's no organic need for these movements. Maybe it's not for DPM. Maybe it's not a need for any of the observers here in the room. But like as the likely counterfactual does happen, right? If you are in need of food, or in need of having a place to stay, or in need of literal friends, you can have these sororities, and these sororities play an exclusive role in that particular function. Before I move on to the extension, I saw POI go.
So, should feminism then be transactional under your logic?
it's a strategy, right? Like, obviously, I'm not talking about what the feminist movement is doing. Like, this is the only thing that the feminist movement is doing. But as of the fact that these sororities affect a very large part of young people, specifically in college, who don't have a like reasonable alternative to turn to in actually being able to support and propagate feminism, then this as a strategy has worked very, very well. Extension. On the counterfactual, while feminist organizations have less political will, less political capacity, and less ability to actually help women absent these sororities. Reason number one, sororities play a very unique and indispensable role in supporting young women that you cannot get anywhere else. Think of how this applies in the real world and what sororities can offer you. They can offer you housing, free food, and necessarily a support structure for how you live your life in school. Take a look at what PM said, right? You get financial aid, you get a network of friends and peers. In a famous example, if you guys have ever watched Bar Boys or know of the UP shit, right? There are groups like these, like sororities in UP, who literally take care of every single need for you in order for you to study and like pass the bar exam. So literally every single thing is taken care of. You have a group of community that you can trust, and all you have to do is do the things you want to do and are good at. Absent this, government does not give a counterfactual. At most, they talk about other alternatives and other feminist groups, but it doesn't account for the uniqueness of sororities in giving a women exclusive group in order for you to actually win and propagate that. Why is this particular thing important, and why is it around winning? As a consequence of the rise of sororities, you have a very, very significant and important demographic, e.g., young women in colleges who don't have a specific, like, an alternative mechanism in order to actually translate all of their feminist ideals into action. Joining a sorority is a really, really good way of actually being able to have that option and have all of that particular like leaning in order to turn it into something more. Note, so many things happen because of sororities, even more so for the actual development of the people within them, which are all women. For all of those reasons, it's really, really important for these sororities to spread. Thank you.